Hey guys, how's it going? Today let's take a look at two of the coolest PDAs from the mid-2000s. PDAs are personal digital assistants. For those of you who don't know, these were the devices that were similar to smartphones, but came out before smartphones, but don't have phone functionality. But they can do pretty much everything else that smartphones can do today, like play media and store notes, have all your PIM functions, browse the web, etc. Right? So these are the two of the coolest ones I have so far. They're both from Japanese companies. This is the Sony CLIE. The CLIE was a line of PDAs that competed with the Palm and the handspring devices back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And this is the Sharp Zaurus. So this model is the UX50 and this is the C1000. I think both released around 2004, 2005-ish. But yeah, these are pretty interesting because they are like mini laptops basically. I mean, they both have these clamshell designs which are really cool. You can see the keyboard here. The Sony has a really flat keyboard. Kind of reminds me of the one from the UX of the Sony Vaio UX series. Actually, it's really flat, so it's not particularly comfortable to type on, but they do have a full keyboard here. The Sharp Zaurus, much better keyboard in my opinion, a lot more spread out, but it is slightly bigger than the UX50. As you can see, the Zaurus is slightly wider, so that's why they have like a wider keyboard. But they have really cool, interesting features on it. So let's take a look. Yeah, so this is the UX50. You can see the display is kind of tiny. I think it's like 2-point-something inches. This is the webcam, which actually can be rotated either on the front for video conferencing or on the back for taking pictures or video even. And there's a special button here for capturing or recording video and pictures. So this has a camera button on it as well. Headphone jack right here. This is a Memory Stick Pro slot. Again, Sony's proprietary kind of storage here that's competing with SD cards. There's a lanyard here in case you ever want to carry it on something. Anyways, it's kind of cute. This is the power button, the power switch, I mean. This might be an infrared, I'm not sure. This looks like a mini USB slot for connecting to the mini USB port for connecting to PCs. This is a scroll wheel here. That's kind of cool that they put it here. Back button, internet button. This like usually launches a web browser. This runs Palm OS, by the way, so it's not going to open Internet Explorer. It's going to open Blaze or something. This is the email button, and this is the contacts button or whatever. This is the stylus, because of course this is a resistive touchscreen, so you gotta use a stylus for this. And I have to charge it on this dock here, but yeah, it charges via this dock thing, and which uses a proprietary connector. So yeah, kind of cool. And it can flip over like that, so you can actually use it kind of like a tablet here. So it's a convertible as well. So both the Sony CLIE UX50 and the Sharp Zaurus are convertible. So let's take a look at the Sharp Zaurus. Better keyboard than the UX50, I think. Then I have similar stuff, shortcut buttons here at the bottom, calendar, address, mail, home, menu button. It's all labeled actually, which is nice. You have a navigational button here, which you don't get on the Sony. And you have a cancel button as well. And I think this is also touch. They're both touchscreens, I think. I believe they both also have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on them. Yeah. They have a SD card slot here, which I much prefer to Sony's Memory Pro because it's not proprietary. On button right here. And I think you have a removable battery here in the speaker. Yeah, there's a locking for the battery cover. Compact flash, that's nice. So you have both a SD card expansion and a compact flash expansion here. Headphone jack right here, just like on the Sony headphone jack. These are kind of in similar places, and they both have the stylus also in similar places here. So here's the stylus for the Zaurus. And of course, on the back here, you have a mini USB connector, OK and cancel buttons on the back, awkward position, and a volume. I think this is a volume switch right here. Yeah, this is an interesting place to put the OK and cancel buttons, I think. And of course, it's also convertible just like the Sony, so you can use it in tablet mode as well. All right, let's turn them both on. I'm gonna use the power switch here. All right, and the Zaurus, we're gonna use this one right here. All right. Yes, these takes a long time to load. Again, Palm OS is what the Sony is running, and the Sharp is running Linux, full Linux, I believe. So that's kind of cool. All right. All right, so yeah, that's the Sony CLIE interface here. This is Palm OS 5, I think. Zaurus just takes so long. Let's wait for this guy to load. I like how there's a little dog up here. It's a Shiba Inu or... All right, so these are the two interfaces running. The Sony is running Palm OS 5, and the Sharp is running Linux distribution, I believe. So yeah, you can tell the difference in the two displays here. I think the Sharp looks a little bit more colorful than the Sony does. I like it more. The Sony's all right. So this is Palm OS 5. Let's see, we got the CLIE viewer. Let's try out the Sony first. Okay, so we got the CLIE viewer. Nope, nothing here. Let's go to back. All right, and CLIE camera. I'll rotate the camera. All right, there's me. You can sort of see me right here. It's a really bad camera, obviously, but you can actually take video with this camera. You can record. So that's actually pretty good functionality for 2004. Remote cam, interesting. I don't know, you can activate this remotely. Okay. Whoops. Oh, a backlit keyboard, right? That's cool. By the way, even some devices with physical keyboards to this day don't have backlit keyboards, right? I think the One Mix Yoga 1 was one that I saw with no backlit keyboard, and the Gemini PDA doesn't have a backlit keyboard either. They fixed that with the Cosmo communicator though, but still, the fact that they have backlit keyboards, I think on both of these is pretty good. This is the album for photos, nothing there. Photo stand, photo editor. I'm surprised with how many productive apps this came with built in, right? Movie recording. Again, this is the recorder. So it's actually pretty cool that they have that. All this is already built in. Like, I know Palm OS obviously can download more apps and stuff for it, but it's cool they have all this built in. Flash player for your Swift files. Yeah, I'll have to get some of my Newgrounds files out for that. Audio player for music. No music tracks. This looks so mid 2000s or early 2000s actually, this interface. Very, very Winamp. Voice recorder here, recording your voice. Sound utilities, net front. What is net front again? Huh. This was, oh, this used Wi-Fi for something. Nope. No. Okay, at least you have the light up buttons for the light up indicators for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. CLIE mail for email. I can actually, instead of using the scroll wheel, of course I can, instead of using my stylus, of course I can use the scroll wheel to scroll this as well. So address, date book, that's standard pen functions right there. Yep, calendar. If I press this is also the same thing as the calendar. And then email, right, this is the same thing. And this is the web browser, which is NetFront. Okay, NetFront is the web browser. I got it. That's what they were using. I knew that name sounded familiar. Yeah, I remember seeing that before on other devices, NetFront. CLIE memo, calculator. I always do open calculator on many of my devices because they all have different interfaces. It's kind of cool. SMS for sending messages. Interesting. This is not a phone, so I wonder how we would send SMS. Maybe you can tether it with a phone or something. World clock. Again, I like seeing the world clock on various PDAs because they all have different looks. They have different designs. Pixel viewer. Ooh, what's this? Read almost any document on the screen. Well, that sounds promising. Oh, interesting. Is this kind of scroll interface right here? Interesting. All right. It's like a PDF viewer. This is a video about the Sony CLIE. Runs on a powerful CPU. Oh, this runs on a custom Sony CPU, actually, which is quite interesting. Use the back buttons, actually. Oh, sorry. No back buttons here. Yeah, this runs on a custom Sony CPU, which is kind of interesting that Sony designed their own CPU for this. It was quite good for the time, actually. Oh, Macromedia Flash. Not even Adobe Flash, guys. Macromedia Flash. Before Adobe acquired them. Security, clear files. This must be the File Explorer. Right, this is the Palm OS type of interface. Data import, perhaps security. Decuma? What's Decuma? Define symbols as shortcuts for lengthy text are very frequently interesting. It's kind of like graffiti, I guess. According to hot sync, that's what Palm OS uses for syncing to your computer. These have got smaller icons here. There's other shortcuts on this as well. So in addition to this hardware shortcuts, you got software shortcuts as well. Okay, I wonder if they have a. Just give me a. Yeah, give me a memo pad. I want to test out the keyboard. Okay. Backspace. Yeah, it's very flat, and like I said, the keyboard's not the. Oh, there's a recording button here. No, it's a period. It's just a super big period. Okay, I got it. But then this is a period, right? Then what's this one? Is it a record button? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this keyboard, my first impressions is that it's very flat. It's all, I mean, by PDA standards, the fact that they have a physical keyboard at all is good. But it wouldn't be my favorite keyboard to use. Yeah. I mean, it's good that they have it, because a lot of PDAs back then, the Palms and stuff, didn't have keyboards. You had to buy an external keyboard, right? So the fact that this had one is cool for this, especially for this size. I can't fault it for that, but I really wish the travel was more. There's almost no travel on this keyboard. Very, very flat. Okay. Anyways, that's the Sony CLIE UX50 right there. Yeah, and let's try the Sharp Zaurus now. Oh. Have it sit in the back there. All right, Sharp Zaurus, which also has kind of similar apps, but of course the interface to me looks a lot smoother, right? This interface, I mean, you can tell like this interface is yeah, I mean this interface, yeah, you can tell that this interface looks very primitive. I mean, it's a basic Palm OS interface with color, right, which is great. But the Sharp Zaurus takes it up to another level. Like, just, it looks more colorful, the interface looks smoother, and this is running full Linux. Yeah, calendar app right here. I can also access calendar by using the shortcut here. I don't know, the color in the screen is just better than the Sony. The address book, right? And this is mail. You can't display the characters. I wonder if it's like Unicode or something. And it's probably because it's Japanese, since it not displaying Unicode. Home and menu. Ooh, oh, that's cool. Has a start menu here. That's cool. And yeah, this is a Linux start menu. It has that. Awesome. So it has all that from here as well. You can reboot or suspend from here. And of course you can use the navigational directional pad to navigate through here, which is equivalent to the scroll wheel on the Sony CLIE. I like this better though because you can move in 4 directions as well. It's really nice. So yeah, we've seen the calendar. Net front comes back. So this is the same browser like the Palm OS on the Sony had. This NetFront 3.1. Not sure if the Sony had something similar. Maybe it's a different version. Anyways, this is for Linux. It's a music player. It's an explosion icon, which means it's being launched. Okay. And this is some custom music player for the Zaurus, I think. I don't know what kind of Linux player this is, but it's just called music player. Hang on, look at this about. Yeah, it's just music player by Sharp, so which means that it's probably something custom made for the Zaurus. Yeah. Video player. Explosion icon whenever you click something. Internal flash. I wonder what this is. Oh, I thought it was like a. Never mind. Alright, so this is the video player. I don't know if I have any movies right now. Nope, nothing. Oh, the back button's on the back here. That's right. It's a little bit weird. It has a scroll wheel, of course, on. Ooh. Interesting, okay. I thought that would be the volume. This switch here. That's an actual scroll wheel? I would think that would be the volume wheel, but it's not. It's a scroll wheel. That's weird. I have the directional pad already. Why do I need that? Okay, handcom sheet. I think this is the editor for... okay, yeah. Handcom might be the Office Suite equivalent for Japanese. So this is basically the same as Excel. Entering some numbers here. Yeah, handcom is probably what they used. Handcom Word is their word processor. Let's test out the keyboard here. Yeah, this keyboard is a lot more comfortable to use than the Sony's. Yeah. Not bad. Pretty good keyboard. I like this keyboard a lot better than the Sony's keyboard. Yeah, it's got travel. It's not as cramped. It's just a nice keyboard to use. And I can get my words per minute up if I used it for a long time. Presentation, this is maybe the Pocket PowerPoint, I guess. Yeah, image files, okay. Image pad. This is like the photo editor for this, I guess. G-Show, I wonder what this is. No, I don't know what that is. Database. Yeah, it can't display Japanese characters. Calculator, always got to see what the interface for the calculator looks like. This is very pretty basic. Nothing special here. City time, which is world time, I suppose. Yep, it's world time. The interface, just got to see that. Terminal, I guess this is Linux, so you even have a terminal for that. Cool. All right, let's see a Linux terminal. Oops. Oh yeah, cool. You have Linux commands. Yeah, cool. You can run Linux commands here. So that's cool. It comes with a full-fledged. So it's pretty much like a full-fledged Linux operating system on here. That's awesome. PDF viewer right here. Obviously Linux has tons of apps, so you can just install any software, open source Linux software you can install in here. Oops. Wonder why this is sideways. I don't know. Alright, there's shortcuts on the side here if you can press them. This is a PIM functionality. What's this one? Cappy. OMP, copy. What does that mean? P address book. Okay, that's just an address book. Okay. OMP. Not sure what this is. Mail? Okay, that was mail, I guess. All right, this is email, this is address book, calendar, and JISPA. What is JISPA? Dictionary. Okay, I think it's a Japanese English dictionary, must be. Settings. Yep. Okay. Files. Yeah, cool. Yeah, this is running full Linux. That's really cool. Yeah, the Sharp Zaurus. And I wonder if put into tablet mode, then maybe these OK cancel buttons would make more sense here. And the switch would make more sense. Oh. I guess it has to be this way. Okay. Now I guess it kind of makes more sense, yeah. So I was wondering, like, why do they have two ways of navigating? Okay. This is for tablet mode. So I'm glad Sharp actually thought about this. And they have the OK and cancel buttons here. Right. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, that's the Sharp Zaurus from Japan. This is the Japanese one. I don't think it was released in the US. Not this model, anyways. The Sharp Zaurus was always way more popular in Japan than it was in the Western world. That's why people have not so familiar with it here. They're probably more familiar with Sony CLIEs and Palm pilots and handsprings here, right? Not so much with Sharp Zaurus. Yeah, it's not a well-known brand here, but in Japan it is. You can't see it that well unless I turn down the contrast. Okay, now you go. Here we go. The Sharp, I think, has a better display, has a better keyboard. It might be a little bit more powerful as well. And it runs full-fledged Linux, whereas this one runs Palm OS 5. I think the Sharp Zaurus is overall much better. And, you know, if this came out in the US, I would definitely get this one over the Sony CLIE. But I think this model was only available in Japan, I believe. So that's kind of unfortunate, because I would take this one. This is a much better PDA than this one. Not to say that Sony is a bad PDA. I mean, this is still a pretty useful PDA, you know, for you can still run all your Palm OS apps and stuff on here, and not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but out of these two, if I was choosing one, I would pick the Sharp Zaurus for sure. And running full-fledged Linux, has a terminal and everything. You can install any Linux application on here. That's just awesome, right? Probably very moddable as a result as well. So yeah, that's it, guys. Sony CLIE or the Sharp Zaurus. In retrospect, if I were to choose between the two, yeah, I would choose the Sharp. I think it's much better. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.